Hello everyone and welcome back to the Mystic Tides Tarot channel. I am so excited to be back. I honestly feel like the hardest thing after posting the first video is to come back after the first video, but here I am. I am going to be using specifically a Halloween inspired tarot deck because 'tis the season, of course. It's also a gorgeous deck, and I have yet had the opportunity to use it on a reading with anyone, like not myself obviously, but you know, like other people, and in a public setting. So I thought this would be the perfect time for her to make her debut. And I'm showing the High Priestess card just because I've been really resonating with this. I think as a tarot reader, if you are also a tarot reader, you probably have resonated with this at some point, or if you're also a witch, as I am. So without further ado, let's get into this reading. Now, I did want to do more of a hype up session in this reading. I just felt like this is the energy that is required and needed right now, especially after all of those eclipses. Okay, I'm struggling to shuffle these right now. I also just did my nails after not having nails for a few days, so there's always an adjustment. And it is what it is. But yes, this is going to be a hype up reading. I hope that whoever's listening to this can get a little, you know, hype up, a little ego boost, a little something something, you know, from this reading, because like I said, I think we all need a little bit of this every now and then. I don't know how this is going to go because, I mean, how do we ever know the way that the universe, the energies, our ancestors, our spiritual council, if you will, how do we know what they're going to do? Like, if we did know, then why would we even contact them to be in communication with them and receive messages from them? Okay, this card right here. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, let's just get, actually, let's just start. Let's just do card by card, and then we're just going along. Oh, I love the way my nails look with this. I'm not gonna lie. This kind of tells me that you're somebody who likes to also either get their nails done or groom themselves in a way that makes them stand out a little bit. So you're not going to be the type of person that gets the regular manicure. Like, even if you have to have short nails for work, you're still going to get them themed, or even if it's not an obvious theme to somebody else, like an outsider, like if I was to look at it, I may not get it, but you get it. And it could be something very niche. Like, I don't know why I thought of Stranger Things right now, even though it's not that I don't like Stranger Things. Like, I was trying to reach for an example that wouldn't make sense to me, but Stranger Things would definitely make sense to me. But yeah, something that may not be super obvious, or maybe even within that theme, even for people that are familiar with that theme, like Stranger Things, it would be something so niche down even within that universe that it means something to you that other people might not be able to pick up on. So this tells me that you're a very deep person. But let's get to this card. All of that just started coming in. So we have the Three of Pentacles right here. They're pumpkins, which gorgeous. We love it. And we have a clown setting up party decorations, and he's being told, like, you know what? This is the way we want to see this party set up. Can you do this? So there's this communication that's going on between this group of clowns, because technically they're all clowns. Like, this is more of like a jester, and then you have the more familiar clowns, I guess, to like us as modern people, I think I want to say. And they have like these red noses, right? Like, that's how we can kind of distinguish them as clowns, apart from the fact that, you know, they're dressed this way. But because this is a Halloween themed deck, okay, I'm going off the rails here. Reel it back in. So, hype up. How is this a hype up? This basically tells me that you're the type of person that's going to be there to either be the one that knows how to do the job right, or that knows how to tell people how to do the job right. And I think this is so funny because we're like, okay, like, duh, right? Like, that sounds kind of dumb, but it's not, because both of those things are a skill and you can do both. Not saying that you are always doing both either, because that can also be a problem. You know, like, if you're the one that always has to do everything, the planning and the executing, we don't want to step into that energy. But you can do both. You're very versatile. You're someone who is not only a deep thinker, like as we talked about with like the whole nails example that I might have botched, but you are a deep thinker that knows how to think like the creator as well as the one who is giving the creator the inspiration. So you can be both the muse as well as the artist. And that's a beautiful thing, because you can take breaks being one or the other in different phases of your life, which allows you to have this renovated way of accessing inspiration that people that can't do that, you know what I mean? I feel like I was going to say something else and then it stopped. The energy today has been very fun, very actual festive, like these nails and this deck. It's been very much that. So like, I hope that this doesn't come off way too chaotic, but I'm loving this reading so far. And, you know, like I could stop and re-record and try to make it perfect, but that would be a disservice not only to myself and to the practice of this reading, because I'm channeling as I read, and to my ancestors, my spirit guides, so on and so forth, but it would also be a disservice to the energy, because I do believe that the way that I'm going to give this reading is in the energy that we are in. So it's going to sound a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, when you're watching any type of tarot reader, you're going to be picking up not only on their energies, not only on the energies of their deck, not only on the energies of their spiritual team, spiritual council, and your own as the ones who discern the message, but you're also going to be picking up on the collective energy. I actually kind of hate that word, to be honest, but like on the energy of everybody else, all of the creatures that have energies attached to them. And I hope this is not overwhelming you. I'm not trying to overwhelm you and tell you that you have to take all those things into account all the time for everything, but that's just something that came through. Also, I tend to talk kind of fast when I'm channeling, so I'm sorry if I'm like kind of like running over my words, but I feel a lot of the times that it's coming in so fast that if I don't get the words out fast enough, then the message is going to slip through. And maybe that's something that I just need to work on. I don't know, but this is the way that things are right now, so this is the way that we're going to do it. Okay. Also, another thing, you see me shuffling in different ways or shuffling a little bit or pausing. I like to wait to feel the card's energy in my hand. So like if I'm shuffling like this, and why am I giving you a tutorial? I have a feeling that you're the type of person that not only do you like get deep into things, like I mentioned in the beginning with the nails example, but you get deep into things and you get so excited about it that when you talk about it, you start kind of low-key teaching it. Okay, this card's calling me. Ace of Swords. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're so excited about something, you're so inspired, but you're also so knowledgeable and you're pretty good at communicating it. So you're going to want to bring this good news, this message with excitement. And, you know, maybe sometimes you also run over your words a little bit, and maybe that's why I'm doing it. Or maybe, you know, we're like almost the same person. Who knows? Let me not say that about you though, because what if you're like, ew, I don't want to be compared to this crazy lady on YouTube with like, whatever, I don't know. I'm not trying to put myself down either. This is supposed to be a hype up session, okay? Okay, is this the, yes it is. How beautiful. This is the 10 of Pumpkins, 10 of Pentacles. So we have this abundance, but in my opinion, one of the highest forms possible, which is not just with like the little things in life, or not even just with things that we need, like, oh, a house and a car, a job. This is even beyond that. It's generational. It's something that you have worked hard, maybe even something that was handed down to you. I would say this also includes, unfortunately, generational crap. Generational crap, or generational like blessings, or even generational lessons that were learned. And you'll see this too, like through the people that you live around. Like it doesn't have to be like specifically like blood relatives, especially if like you didn't get to know your parents or grandparents, or you know they passed on well before you were able to actually grasp like said lessons. Like this could be people that just you grew up around, people that were around you while you were actually learning lessons. Sometimes we pick up lessons that other people are learning, and I don't want to say we learn them for them, we learn them for us always, but it's almost as if we didn't know them, then that lesson might have like skipped us or like waited until a later time. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's just coming through. So I don't know if it's like maybe you needed, okay, so it's almost like maybe you needed to hear that because perhaps you're going through a time where things are really slow moving and you're having a hard time understanding why things are moving so slow for you where they appear to be moving faster for others. And obviously, like, it's always going to seem like it's slower for us than it is for other people. Let's be honest. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. But the Devil card coming out right now, jumping out in the middle of me talking about this, is telling me that that's something that you're tempted to do out of habit. It's not the reality. It's not like, it's like the habit is to kind of catastrophize things before we really know what it's going to be. Because then if we can perceive a possible catastrophe, then maybe we can possibly prepare for it and then possibly prevent it. And then maybe then that means that we can stay safe. And that's the trick that our mind will always play on us because it's trying to keep us safe, right? And this is kind of basically saying, like, don't fall for it. Like, don't fall for these little candies because you're destined and you're supposed to be getting all of these pumpkins. Like, these little tiny candy bits are nothing compared to, like, the abundance of all of these pumpkins, right? So stay strong, which, you know, I have my own grudge with that phrase, but I mean, it's there. Another ace card. Okay, so let's put this over here so we know it's connected to that one. So Ace of Cups. With the Ace of Cups, another ace card. So this tells me there's like, you're starting on something new, and this doesn't mean like, oh, you're embarking on a new project, even though that may be true. It's kind of like this feeling, this way of thinking, this energy. Maybe you're starting to feel different than you have ever in your life, and you're starting to change perspective. And that tells me that that's why that's a temptation to think that way, because you're not really that person anymore. It's just like old habits. And what in reality you're ready for is to feel these new emotions and these new feelings and embrace that cup that is so full in a beautiful way, not in a negative way, in such a beautiful way that it's going to runneth over. It overflows. And this is actually where you're headed, right? Okay, like, can we make it any more clearer? Okay, so King of Pentacles and then Two of Cups. I'm automatically seeing that you're on the way to meeting your King of Pentacles. And it doesn't matter if you're thinking, okay, well, let's just say I'm a straight man, I identify as a man, and I don't want a king. Like, that's not what that means. Meeting your King of Pentacles is like saying you're meeting somebody that's going to have that boss energy, that's going to be able to have that logical, linear, okay, I don't want to say linear, logical thinking that can very much run in a linear fashion. Not saying that that's a good or a bad thing, but you know, it is what it is. Take it how it resonates with you, because I know some people hate that and some people love that. So take it how it resonates. But yes, this person is going to be a compliment to you, because this is going to allow for a connection that works. That's how I know they're a compliment to you. And this is not saying that you're the Queen of Pentacles or that you're anything else. Okay, we're not saying that you're anything. We're just saying that a King of Pentacles seems to be on the horizon for you. And I know this is a hype obsession. And how do we turn this into a hype obsession if we're talking about somebody else coming into your life? Well, hello, if you ain't all that in a bag of chips, why is the King of Pentacles knocking on your door? Like, hello? That's what I'm like picking up from this. But yeah, it's like you seem to have come from a lot of struggle and a lot of times that you doubted that you could even have the strength to continue on. Not saying that you contemplated anything drastic, but just that things felt so difficult and so heavy. But we're starting to see a whole different phase for you. And maybe this is because it is the, you know, post-eclipse. And a lot of people's lives are changing. A lot of people's energy completely switched when that went down. Page of Wands. So with the page, like, maybe you see yourself as the Page of Wands, but the Page of Wands is someone who is excited to embark on, let's just say, I like to compare the court to like years in college. So like, for example, if you're the Page of Wands, you would be that enthusiastic freshman in college who is just so full of passion and excitement. They're not like the jaded senior, okay? Not saying that all seniors are jaded, but just giving that as an example. The Page is someone who is so excited to get to class, to try new things, to try some fun classes, to try some of their major classes, to meet new friends, join the clubs, maybe go to a frat or a sorority, you know, something like that. Like, they're just so full of this enthusiasm and this passion that it's contagious, right? And maybe this is an aspect of yourself that's starting to peek through, and it's a little awkward for you because you're so used to like maybe being a bit of an introvert. I don't know why, but that's coming through. And you are such a passionate person, but it is really hard for you to put yourself out there. And maybe it has to do with what I said in the beginning with the nails. You're so niche down sometimes because you go so deep into your interests that it makes it hard to connect with people because you don't like these surface level talks. You want to go deep and you want to talk specifics and you want to know why they like what they like, and if they agree and they can get to where you're at with your likes, which is like just surface level to you but is very deep to others. You still want to know why they're there because you want to compare your why to their why, and that's what makes it fun for you. That's what makes it like alive. I think I'm saying that because this deck, even though none of these cards have it, this deck has a lot of Frankenstein in it, and I just got like the whole "it's alive" coming in. I think that's why that came through. I don't know, maybe I'm just being silly, but okay, I'm just gonna pull one more card and then I'm gonna call it a reading because I'm still trying to figure out how long I can record without being scared that it's not going to upload. My last video was close to 20 minutes and it took me so long to upload it. I was like shaking in my wee little boots, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think I'm just going to try to keep it like around 20 minutes because I can talk. And maybe if I get a camera, well, actually I have a camera, I'm not going to lie. I have a camera, but then I don't have a laptop to edit things on, so like how would I even like publish it or whatever? I don't know, whatever. The Magician, oh, maybe this is a message for me. They basically said you need to get your shit together, ho. That's what they said. Oh, also, just in case you didn't know, I love to use profanity and I cuss naturally and normally, and I try to hold myself back a little bit so it doesn't come off like crazy and shocking to some people. But I also understand that, you know, people are going to weed themselves out or like follow if they're part of, you know, what this is. So yeah, I guess that was just a little like TMI, who knows. But with the Magician, this is like the card that reminds us all, with the right tools, anything is possible. But it also could be a card that tells us we have all the right tools at any given moment. We just need to learn how to use them. And isn't that what life is? Like, we're born with the capacity to exist and live. So why aren't some of us actually living? And there's this quote, I don't even remember where I got this from, but it lives in my head, or it has been living in my head for the past few weeks because of what's been going on in my personal life. And it basically says, you have to be willing to die to live. And this was basically something that came about, I think I was watching something, but they were talking about how in order for you to truly live, you need to be willing to take risks. And I know it sounds dramatic to say you have to be willing to die, but we're all going to die anyway, right? So it's not whether or not we're going to die. We are. However, we need to be willing to die, which means that some of the risks that we need to take will feel like deaths. And these are all kinds of deaths. These are physical, metaphorical, spiritual, emotional, mental deaths that we are so scared we're not willing to go through those deaths. And hence we are not willing to fully live the way we're supposed to live. Okay, I think that's the message. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you for watching me. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. You can tell me you like it. You can tell me you hate it. Either way, I'll be back next week. Thank you. Love you guys.